A 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. A 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. A 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, guys, let's look at Sleeping Beauty Waltz. Now, we are still exploring the concept of the flat here, just like in the last lesson with the romance. With the only difference here being they're introducing you to also the natural sign. And what the natural sign is it cancels a flat sign or a sharp sign that you've already seen in a bar or a measure. Okay, so as we see in the top of the page, the example there, you have an A, then a flatted B or a B flat, and the very next note is also a B, and they put a natural there so that you would play B natural. And here's the example. Here's the A, and then we have the B flat, and they wrote the natural sign, so instead of B flat, you're going to play B natural. Okay? Now, in this piece, we are in 3/4 time, and you can see that at the very beginning of the first line of this music in the grand staff, you'll see some numbers that look like fractions, and there we see our 3/4 time. If you're wondering what that means, read it like a fraction, so 3/4. And so that means that in every bar or in every measure, there are 3 quarter notes. So instead of counting this in 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're only counting to 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And anytime you're playing a waltz or dancing to a waltz, right, that dance is in a 3 time. Okay, and that's what this piece is. It's a dance. That's a waltz. Now, here we have to be aware we're in the same position as we were in the last piece. Thumbs on C. Now we have a few more flats than the last piece, okay? There's a lot of B flats written, and then there's a lot of E flats written in the right hand, all right? But here we have to also be aware when they are not flat, because in the romance, all the flats we saw, it stayed flat basically the whole piece. They never used a B natural in that piece. Now in this piece, there are B naturals. So whenever you see the natural sign, move your second finger back to B. And the same thing goes with the right hand. So anything, we're playing most of our E's in E flat. But sometimes, I'm wondering if there is one actually. Looking at it, I don't see any natural. So actually, the naturals are all in the left hand on the B. The B and the B natural and the B flat. Okay? Now, in this case, we do play together on the hands, but the hands are not doing any movement together. So you can almost play this right from the beginning, just looking at it, hands together, if you want. But if you're finding it hard to read the music, just, you can separate the hands and just practice the different, especially the different sets of thirds and fourths that we see here in the left hand. Okay? So let's just look at these chords here. And a chord is anytime you see 2 notes on the same line, okay, written directly above each other. So we notice immediately in the right hand we have these 2 chords here. Now you see they're both lying on spaces there, so those are a third apart, and in particular it's a D and an F. Okay? Now, when we see, I think those are the only chords in the right hand. Yes, they are. So every time you see chords in the right hand, it's this third, the D and the F third. All right? Now, on the left hand, we have this third quite a lot, the F and the A, which we see in measure 7 and 8 and 9 on the 4th and the 5th lines. All right? And play that with your 3rd and 5th fingers. All right? And then on the top of the 2nd page, also a third, this time a G and a B flat. So be careful with the flat. Okay. The next time we see chords, measure 22. Be careful there because that is a G and a B natural. So it's slightly different than the last chord that we played. And then finally we play a chord that's not a third and measure just 23 and 24. All right, those are fourths. Okay, so you have to read the fourths and the thirds. That's what happens right after that, okay? Now, I would encourage you, play it hands apart first, and then try to put it hands together slowly. And then try to play along with the demonstration video. If you find it too fast, you can always slow the video speed down and play along with it. You can use the demonstration video also to work on your hands apart. Because sometimes, it can be a little bit boring to only do one hand over and over again. So you can play the video and, for example, just work with the right hand while I'm playing along with both hands, all right? And then when you feel comfortable with it, put the hands together, right? And when you feel very comfortable with it, you can try to play along with the Teacher Duet in the demonstration duet video. And when you feel very, very comfortable with it, then you can play by yourself with just the Teacher Duet video, right? So then there's no student part in there. And then you're all on your own to play with the Teacher Duet. And try to stay with the teacher part the entire way. Okay, and there we have it. So, one last thing. Yes, there are a few fingerings to worry about in this piece. Now, in measure 11, bar 11, in the right hand, All right, normally we are in this C 5-finger position, right? Now, looking at bar 10, we're playing an E and with our 3rd finger, and then they're going to play the E flat. Now, instead of using your 3rd finger again, you should use your 2nd finger. Okay, but that puts your 2nd finger away from the D. So we're going to play the C now, and then you notice it comes straight back to E flat. And so in measure 12, where it comes back to the E flat, you'll play the same note that you just played in measure 11, the E flat, but this time with your 3rd finger. And we're back to our 5-finger position. Okay, so I will play from measure 10 again, a little bit slower, okay? A 1, 2, 3. Here's the E, measure 10. Here's our E flat, measure 11 with our 2nd finger. We're going to play E flat again with our 3rd finger. Okay, that's the only place where we kind of stray away from the 5-finger position a little bit. So it's worth practicing that a few times, just that part, okay? Now, on the left hand, you have a similar place. Now, that is found in measure 20, where we have this chromatic passage. And a chromatic passage is any passage where you're playing every consecutive half tone. All right, now this chromatic passage is quite short. It's only 3 notes. So you notice that we are normally in this F 5-finger position, which often features a B flat when you play an F. Okay, now here in measure 20, you're going 3 on A, then 2 on B flat, and then they want you to play B natural. So instead of playing the B natural with your 2nd finger again, you would play with your 1st finger, which puts your hand slightly away from our F 5-finger position. So the moment you finish playing that B natural with your 1st finger, just put it back on the C for the chords that we play afterwards. Okay, so we don't let our hand go off of the F position, all right? So you're just kind of like moving your thumb over to the B and you move it straight back. Okay, so it looks like this from bar 16. 1, 2, 3, 1. Here's bar 16. We have the B flat. Here we go. B flat, B natural with 1, rest, and I'm back in position. Okay? All right. And that is really everything to work on in this piece. So good luck with your preparations, and we'll see you in the next video. That's it for this video. If you found this video helpful, please consider clicking on that like button and subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching.